All right, we've got a two-tall Toby sheet metal. This one's pretty exciting. The sketch is weird, but the sheet metal is not that bad. We are in steel. I do have a template here that is a sheet metal template, so it is different than the one I typically use when I'm making my other parts. We are in steel. Um, I do already have under preferences. So if I go into my part and I go into preferences, the preference is for a thickness of 3, and we'll confirm that when we get in. The bend radius is set to be the thickness. So let's go ahead and jump in and let's go. Right. So we have a wall thickness of 3 with a bend radius of 3. So that's all built in here. Okay, let's go in and cancel. Sorry, I'm in the sheet metal tab. There we go. We're going to start with a planar first wall on the top plane. And we'll work on the left-hand side here. So we're going to start coming over and out. I don't really want a bunch of equal signs or anything here. All right. So we're going to just do half of it, and we got a couple of dimensions to throw on. We're going to start with the overall height is 115. We're going to start with this dimension is 50. This dimension. There we go. It's 10. My inner, this one, oh, well, that's all right. We'll grab it. This one's going to be 80 divided by 2. And our overall width is going to be 240 divided by 2. Okay. This height is 45. From here to here, that's going to be 30, but here to here is 40. Yep. Okay. This line has an angle of 40 divided by 2. Make this 92 divided by 2. And we're going to make this one 52 divided by 2. All right, there's our starting geometry. Okay, so we're going to make the whole thing one big mirrored object. Okay. So we'll start with a flat wall on, I've been doing it on the bottom edge. Let's see here, if I change my, can I flip my angle? Nope, I can't. All right, so we're not going to use this edge. We're going to use the bottom edge. All right. There we go. The overall height of this particular flap is 18. Okay, and we'll add the rounds in a second. Okay, now we're going to add the flange wall. Let's try it this way. So we did a flat wall on the other side. We're going to add a flange wall on this side. We're going to set the overall height to be 20. And then the thickness that it's going to go, oh, sorry, that's 90. How did I get that to flip? All right, profile on edge. So that's what we want. I'm not. Oh, that's what I flipped. It switched to a different dimension. Okay. This height for this slot here is going to be 20, but I don't want it to go all the way. I want it to go -6, and I want it to have a rectangular 2 times the thickness relief. All right, man. Uh, accidentally clicked on one edge, and what a difference it makes. All right, that's better. Let's add some rounds. Okay, so we're going to use a radius of 6. We're going to grab 5 different rounds. We're going to have, holding down control, we're going to get the 2 on the back. We're going to get the 2 on this flap. And we're going to get the 1 on the edge of the this center portion. Okay. I'm going to add a hole on this surface, and we can locate it relative to the right plane. We have a center to center that's 190, so we'll divide that by 2. We'll make it go to next with a diameter of 6, and the other one is distance from the top plane or the bottom of the part. It's going to be 12 up. Okay. Let's add an extruded cut on this shape. And we'll just use the pallet tool and grab the racetrack. Place that down here. And get some dimensions on here. So we'll go from this center point to the center point. There we go. To the edge, and we'll middle click. That's going to be 10. This dimension here is 6. Okay. From the bottom to the center is 12. And from the center to the outside edge is also 10. Oh, we need to delete the center to center. So that's going to automatically remove material. It's automatically going to make it up to next. That's great. When you're working in sheet metal, it makes sheet metal-y type decisions for you. Okay. Next, I'm going to offset 2 edges. I'm going to bring that in, and then I'm going to offset this edge, finish that. This one's going to be -10. The other one's going to be also -10. And I'm going to add a couple of lines. So I'm going to add a horizontal line and a horizontal line. And I'm going to corner. So a lot of corners here just to make it nice and neat. Okay. And if I select that geometry, I can add those fillets to all of the corners. I gotta go back to my all sketcher geometry. That's gonna be 4. I'm missing a couple of dimensions. So the dimension I'm missing is this distance from the outer face in. Let's try that again. That's gonna be 20 shown here. And then the distance between the 2 horizontal lines is 45 shown up here. Okay, so that's good. And now we're going to add a rectangle. And I'm going to select that line. Let's see if I select one line and hit fillet, does it work? It does not. So we will manually add a couple of fillets that are also 4 and add a couple of dimensions. So this distance offset is 8. That means I have something else that's wrong. That's it. We gotta delete that constraint. This one is 8. And in from the left side. That's also 8. All right, that is our geometry. So let's extrude those as a cut. And then let's take the entire part and mirror it. But mirror doesn't show up here. It doesn't show up under walls or engineering or bend or editing. It will show up under model. So we can go into the whole part and click mirror over the right plane. That's looking great. Okay. And there we go, our symmetric sheet metal part. Let's see how we did. Right, and we have 292.5. Beautiful. Okay, so a couple of things here. That even though the mirror tool doesn't show up on the sheet metal ribbon, you still have it available. Extrude cuts are nice when you're in sheet metal because you don't have to tell it to remove material. You don't have to tell it the depth. If I were to try to do an extrude under the model, it wouldn't work as well. Whoops. Make sure you've got the wall thickness set under preferences. That's really important. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed a sheet metal tutorial. I think there's a bunch more coming at us soon. All right, take care.